Hello everyone, this is Serton and let's get started. The lesson for today is about relative atomic mass. And by the end of this video, you should be able to first define relative atomic mass, define and use the atomic mass unit, and calculate the atomic mass of the element given the relative abundances of the natural isotopes of an element and the atomic mass of each isotope. So what is the relative atomic mass? But before we talk about the relative atomic mass, let's first ask a simple question. How do we measure the mass of a single atom? We know that atoms are very, very small. Therefore, they have a very small masses. So it is not practical to use their actual masses in calculations. Instead, scientists compare the masses of atoms using a standard atom. And what is that standard atom? The standard atom used is carbon-12. This carbon-12 is the standard because all other atoms are compared to carbon-12 to determine how heavy they are. With that, we have the statement, the relative atomic mass, or A sub r, of an atom is the average mass of one atom of that element compared to the 1/12 of the mass of one carbon-12 atom. This statement is also summarized in this formula. The top part of the formula is the average mass of one atom of the element, and the bottom part is 1/12 of the mass of an atom of carbon-12. So for example, we are looking for the relative atomic mass of oxygen. We know that the atomic mass of this oxygen is equal to 16, divided by 1/12 of the mass of an atom of carbon-12. And what is the mass of carbon-12? It is equal to 12. And 1/12 of that is just equal to 1. So therefore, the relative atomic mass of oxygen is just 16. This means that one atom of oxygen is 16 times heavier than 1/12 of a carbon-12 atom. Also, as we can see in our final answer, we just wrote 16 because relative atomic mass is just a ratio. Therefore, it has no unit. Moving forward, let's discuss atomic mass unit. The masses of atoms are usually not expressed in grams or kilograms because atoms are extremely small. Using these units would be inconvenient. To solve this, scientists use a much smaller and more convenient unit called atomic mass unit, or simply U. The atomic mass unit is defined as exactly 1/12 of the mass of a carbon-12 atom. This definition is also described in this formula. Now, if one atomic mass unit is equal to or is exactly 1/12 of the mass of a carbon-12 atom, then the mass of one carbon atom is also equal to 12 units or 12U. Why is this so? Because in one carbon-12 atom, we know that it contains 6 protons, the positively charged particle, and 6 neutrons, the neutrally charged particle. And we know that the protons and neutrons have nearly the same mass. The mass of each proton and neutron is close to 1 unit. So 6 protons with 1 unit each is equal to 6 atomic mass units, and 6 neutrons also contribute 6 atomic mass units. Therefore, the total mass is 12 atomic mass units. The mass of an electron is very small, therefore it can be ignored. You can think of this atomic mass unit as just another unit of mass, similar to grams or kilograms, but designed specifically for measuring atoms. Now let's move forward to atomic mass. We know that most elements exist as more than one isotope. Isotopes are atoms of the same element that have different masses because they contain different number of neutrons. Because of this, the atoms of an element do not all have the same mass. Instead, their masses are averaged based on the masses of the isotopes and their natural abundances, or how common each isotope is in nature. Therefore, the atomic mass of an element is the average mass of all atoms of an element as they are distributed in nature. To calculate the atomic mass of an element, we need two pieces of information. First, you must know the atomic mass of each isotope. And second, you must know the fraction or percentage abundance of each isotope in the sample. We also have to take note that atomic mass is always measured relative to carbon-12. Again, that is our standard, which is defined to have a mass of 12 atomic mass units. Now, let's have some sample exercises. The natural distribution of the isotopes of boron is 20% at a relative atomic mass of 10 and 80% at 11. Calculate the relative atomic mass of boron. Now, based from the problem, we know that boron exists as a mixture of isotopes. So therefore, the relative atomic mass is calculated based on the relative percentages of the isotopes. The first isotope, which is B10 and then 5, has a percentage abundance of 20% and the mass or relative mass is equal to 10. On the other hand, the second isotope, which is B11 and 5, has a relative abundance of 80% and its mass is at 11. Now, part of this boron, the first isotope, which can be written as boron 10, which consists 20% of an atom with a mass of 10, contributes 20 over 100, the fraction form of 20%, multiplied by the mass of boron 10, which is 10, equals to 2. On the other hand, the second isotope, boron 11, consists 80% of an atom with a mass of 11. Therefore, the fraction form of 80% is 80 over 100 multiplied by its mass, which is 11. And the answer is 8.8. Now, to calculate the relative atomic mass of boron, simply add together the contributions from each of the isotopes. So 2 plus 8.8 is equal to 10.8. And as we can see, since we're talking about the relative atomic mass of boron, which is 10.8, this means that boron is 10.8 times heavier than 1/12 of a carbon-12 atom. And since it is a relative atomic mass, which is a ratio, it doesn't have a unit. So simply 10.8. Let's have another one. The natural distribution of the isotopes of potassium is 93.26% potassium-39 at a mass of 38.96 units, 0.01% potassium-40 at 39.96 units, and 6.73% potassium-41 at 40.96 units. Calculate the atomic mass of potassium K. So as we can see, this time we have three isotopes: the potassium-39, potassium-40, and potassium-41. But the procedure remains the same. We have to calculate the fractional abundance times the mass of each isotope and then the sum of the products. The first isotope of potassium K is potassium-39, or we can write it as K39. The fractional abundance of potassium-39 is 93.26 divided by 100 then multiply by its atomic mass, which is 38.96 units. The answer is 36.33 units. The second isotope, which is potassium-40, its fractional abundance is 0.01% or 0.01 over 100, multiplied by its atomic mass, which is 39.96 units, and the answer is 0.003996 units. And lastly, the last isotope, which is potassium-41, its percentage abundance is 6.73%, or its fractional abundance is 6.73 divided by 100, multiplied by its mass, which is 40.96 units. And the answer is 2.76 units. Now that we have solved the products of fractional abundance and the mass of each isotope, we will solve for the mass of the products. So 36.33 plus 0.003996 plus 2.76 is equal to 39.09 units. Since we're talking about the atomic mass, not the relative atomic mass contains units, which is your U, or atomic mass units. Therefore, the atomic mass of potassium is 39.09 units. Now, you can pause the video to solve for our practice exercises. In summary, the relative atomic mass, or A sub r, of an atom is the average mass of one atom of that element compared to 1/12 of the mass of one carbon atom, or carbon-12 atom. A sub r, or relative atomic mass, values may not be whole numbers because most elements exist as mixtures of isotopes. One atomic mass unit is defined, or exactly 1/12 of the mass of one carbon-12 atom. And the average mass of atoms of an element as found in nature is called atomic mass. The atomic mass may be calculated from the masses of the natural isotopes of that element and the percentage abundance of each isotope. That's it for now, and see you on our next video.